Welcome to ADHD Whiskey. My name is Matt. If you're wondering where the heck I've been the past few weeks, I've been all over the friggin' country. We left Colorado in the Lamborghini, which is just a normal Dodge Grand Caravan, SXT. We drove from Colorado to Kentucky up to Michigan. I went to Lower Michigan, back to Upper Michigan, friggin' back from the Upper Michigan all the way back to Colorado. It's been a whole thing. It's been nearly 4 weeks of driving and I am pooped. But now that I'm back home in the garage, we're gonna get back to normally scheduled content. And I figured the best way to kick things off is to do a little bottle haul video. So I'm gonna show you the bottles that I acquired over the past 4 weeks since we left Colorado and then came back to Colorado. During our trip, I did not get to go into as many whiskey stores as I wanted to. I got the kiddos with me and the wife most of the time, and they're not exactly super thrilled about going into whiskey stores, but at the same time, it's like, hey, it's kind of what I do, so we kind of have to stop in a few. So the first bottle I picked up on the trip was in Kentucky in Lexington. It was at Trader Joe's, and it's an Angel's Envy store pick. In a previous video, I said how much I love these things. I bought this one, and this one isn't exactly as lovable as the last one I had. This one is quite a bit more sulfury than the last one I remember, but for 110 proof, port finished bourbon whiskey, it's still pretty dang good. By the way, if you open a whiskey near sea level and then drive that bitch back to mile high territory, the cork on these things is just begging to come out. Unless, of course, this one makes me look like a liar, but I highly doubt it. America. That one wasn't great. Let me try a different bottle I brought back with me. Oh, America. Hells yeah. Look, it gets all foggy in there. It gets all foggy in there. That's so weird. So weird. I also picked a single barrel of Russell's Reserve while I was in Lexington, and also did a collaboration pick with Rarebird 101. Shout out David Jennings. He's an author, he writes books, and he autographs them for money. But while we were at Rare Character, we walked away with these buggers, courtesy of Rare Character. One of them is a single barrel straight bourbon whiskey, cask strength of course, 7-year MGP. The other Rare Character is a single barrel straight rye whiskey finished in Amburana casks for all you cinnamon lovers. Then I stopped in a store all by myself near our Airbnb, and I picked up a Booker's Charlie's Batch 2023-01. Already reviewed it, link right there. In the same store, I ran across Larceny Barrel Proof for like 80 bucks, and I was like, I'm pretty sure Cameron from Drums and Drams says that A123 from Larceny Barrel Proof version or whatever was like the best one he's had in a while. So I sent him a text message and I waited patiently for about 25 seconds. He didn't reply back to me, which pissed me off, so guess what I did? I went to the register with the Bookers and I also bought Larceny Barrel Proof Batch A123. I then returned to my vehicle and immediately received a text message from Cameron saying no, A123 wasn't that great, but B523 was really good. And I said son of a bitch, or son of 3 bitches, because guess what? I don't love Larceny Barrel Proof at all. But if someone's gonna rant and rave about a specific batch, I suppose I'll buy one. Or if I think that they ranted and raved about a specific batch, I'll pick one up, even if I'm wrong apparently. Shit. I had 2 single barrels drop in the month of July, and while I was away, the delivery man came and brought me my Woodinville pick, Woodyville, 116.38 proof bourbon whiskey, still some available, link in the description below, and my Boulder cask strength pick, the Mountain Goat. 136 proof straight bourbon whiskey, distilled, aged, and bottled in Boulder, Colorado. After we left Kentucky, we headed north. And before we got into Michigan's beautiful Upper Peninsula, we stopped at the very last gas station on the Michigan-Wisconsin border because they've got some of the best whiskey selection in the Upper Peninsula of Michigan, even though they're not in the Upper Peninsula of Michigan. And when we stopped into that gas station, guess what I found? Larceny Barrel Proof Batch B523. This is the one Cameron was ranting and raving about, so I bought one. Actually, that's a lie. I bought 2. They were like $69.99 each, and I was like, 69 nice, 69 me twice, brother. Review coming very soon. During our stay in Upper Michigan, I ran across this bad boy, and since we were staying with my in-laws, one of whom really enjoys twisted tea, I picked up Twisted Tea Whiskey. Why did I do it? I have no idea. Will I review it? I have no idea. If I should review it, put it in the comments below. Then I picked up a bottle that I've seen on shelves for years but never picked one up because I don't know. I just never did. It comes in an Elmer T. Lee bottle, so you know it's good. It's a 12-year-old Kentucky straight bourbon whiskey. It's old metally 12-year. And if you can tell by the fill level, I really enjoy this 86.8 proof bourbon whiskey. Is this better than Tin Cup 10-year? Or Tin Cup 14er? Is this the new best bourbon under 90 proof? I don't know, maybe. Review coming soon. Then I made it down to Lower Michigan for Pours in the Park, the Bourbon Junkies annual meetup. My luggage was gonna be overweight if I brought everything back with me, so I have additional bottles being hand delivered to me very soon. The morning we were leaving, I had received a phone call from Mr. Dan Like, and Dan Like was like, "Hey Matt, it's Dan Like," and I was like, "Dan, I know. You've got your number and name in my phone." As a matter of fact, in my phone, his name is saved as Dan friggin' Like. And Dan was like, "Hey, I've got a couple bottles here that we didn't quite finish while we were here. Do you have room in your suitcase?" And I was like, "Actually, no. I'm gonna have some extra bottles sent my way." And he said, "Never mind. I'll just pack them in my suitcase." And then I stopped them in his tracks and I was like, "Dan, I don't even need to know what they are, but I'll take them with me." That's actually not exactly how it went, but pretty close. So I brought home a couple bottles, courtesy of the Like family, and they are amazing and super duper generous. Dan and Julie sent me home with a 12-year-old Carter single barrel. This is barrel number 16, 116.3 proof, 12-year Kentucky straight bourbon. And this is phenomenal. It's so damn good. Thank you, Dan and Julie, very much. And then they sent me home with what I can only imagine will be drank by me in the middle of some crazy night by myself when I'm bored. The rest of an Eagle Rare 17, which is crazy talk. That's crazy talk. What year is this Eagle Rare 17 from? 2020. Holy shit. What a cool ass gift. Thank you, Dan and Julie, again for everything you do for the channel and me. Thank you, Vasco's, for one of my favorite bottles of all time. They gifted me this Discovery Series number 2, and I am super pumped to have a backup now. And then a viewer slash patron slash brother from another mother, like a 7-foot version of myself, except for like way more attractive, stopped me in the hallway of the hotel and was like, "Hey Matt, did you ever get your hands on a Jack Daniel's 12-year? And I said, "No, I did not." And he was like, "Guess what, bitch? Today's your lucky day, bitch. I got you a Jack Daniel's 12-year porter." And I was like, "You son of a bitch." Thank you so much, Jimmy. This is awesome. That's awesome. Speaking of Jack Daniel's, when I arrived home, I had this bad boy waiting for me. It's Jack Daniel's Distillery Series straight Tennessee whiskeys finished in añejo tequila barrels. It is 90 proof, and I don't know what to think about it. It's not open yet. Review coming soon. And then last but certainly not least, I've got a few bottles of this, one of them in my hands right now and 2 of them being hand delivered by the hand delivery ferry in just a couple of days. But this is a super special bottle to me. My best friends, my dang best friends, Dan and Sean of the Bourbon Junkies, started their own venture, and they've put in a shit ton of work, like a metric shit ton of work. They're non-producing distillers, them sons of bitches. This is their very first release, their very own label. It's Virtue Spirits. This is a non-chill filtered single barrel bourbon whiskey. It's barrel number 1. It's Virtue Spirits Essence Single Barrel. Look at that. Look at that. Look at it. Look how good it looks. Look how good it looks. This particular single barrel is 119 proof. It is 5 years old, distilled in Maryland. What the heck's in Maryland? Probably a bourbon whiskey you've never tried before, but you definitely want to if you like Fat Kid bourbon. 100% totally, absolutely, completely unbiased review coming soon on this Essence single barrel bourbon whiskey. Well, I think that wraps up the haul over the last 3+ weeks. Those are the bottles that I acquired over the past few weeks. Some of them I bought, some of them are gifts, some of them sent from producers. Leave a comment in the comment section below and let me know. What do you want to see me review right away? What should I taste and talk to the camera about first? It's up to you, unless of course I disagree, in which case I veto what you say and I just do it my own way, which will never happen, unless of course I want it to happen. Possibly could happen. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for being a subscriber. Thank you to the Patreon community for making this all possible. My name is Matt, this is ADHD Whiskey, and like I always say, keep your head in the clouds, but your mind on keeping your mind and head in, not the clouds, but focused. Focused on a goal and completing it, because damn, look at this. This took Dan and Sean so much work and so much time. They have other things going. They got to deal with a bunch of paperwork and the TTB and the state of Michigan, and it's like, what in the heck? I don't even know. I wouldn't even know where to begin. If I wanted to do this the way that they did this, I would not know where to start. So major shout out to them for staying focused, seeing things through, and making dreams a reality. Dan and Sean completing this, getting product bottled, having sold it, making a dream a reality is basically like me and my wife and another chick in the same bed. It's like, I don't even know where to start to make that happen. And I'm not sure what the necessary paperwork will be. I don't know if I'll have to like file paperwork with like the state, or if I'll find myself on hold for hours with an operator in another country. I don't know where we would source that other girl from. Could she come across state lines legally? It's like so many questions to get what you want, to make a dream a reality. It's like, wow, most people would give up. But when you're determined like them and me, you will eventually make it happen.